Hey everybody, it's Beth from Yoga and Reiki Bliss, and I wanted to pop in today just to share a brief practice focusing on the sun salutations. And we're really just looking at what I guess would be called a sun salutation A. I don't really call them by those names, but that this would be more of that kind of variation where we're focusing on the action of hinging the pelvis like we would in Uttanasana, downward dog, and the focus of lunging. And I love the sun salutations. They make up a big part of my yoga practice as a vinyasa yoga practitioner and teacher. But I love the devotional aspect of it too. The bowing down, bowing toward the sun, honoring its light, its warmth, and the bowing in, the bowing down to our own internal light that leads our way. And that just for me is a beautiful reminder of the power of this practice to turn our attention inward and to turn our attention to something larger than ourselves. You are welcome to have a chair for your practice. You're welcome to have yoga blocks and a blanket. Um, when we do downward dog today, we will do in this version a chair dog version. So it's a little more of a gentler intro into Surya Namaskar. So let's give it a whirl and see how we go. We're going to start lying on our back. And we'll just take a few moments to settle into the breath. Just feel the gentle rise and fall. The rhythm of our breath is what's going to influence the speed of our movement. And then the next time you exhale, go ahead and rock your pelvis backwards so your lower back comes toward the ground. And as you inhale, rock your pelvis forward so your lower back curves away from the ground. As you exhale, rock gently your pelvis backward, your lower back to the ground. As you inhale, rock your pelvis forward, your lower back curving away from the ground. And one more time, exhale, rock the pelvis back like a cat. And one more time, rock the pelvis forward, breathe in like cow. And then set yourself in the middle where you're neither in those extremes. And it may even feel like if you were to place your hands on your hip points and your pubic bones, that they were level. And then take the right leg and bring your right knee into your chest. Give it a little gentle hug and go ahead and upstretch your right leg. You can have a moment to flex your ankle, like your toes drawing toward the front of your shin, and point your ankle, your toes to the sky. We'll do that again. We'll flex and we'll point and we'll flex and we'll make a circle with that ankle just to bring a little movement and a little circle the other way. And then we'll linger here just a couple of breaths and just notice if you've rocked your pelvis back, your low back to the ground, is it possible for it to stay more neutral? Not so much toward cat, not so much toward cow. We'll give ourselves one more breath, just letting the hamstrings have a little length to make that hinging a little easier. And we'll bend the knee and return. So kind of doing a reverse action. Instead of hinging the pelvis over the thighs, we're moving the thighs around the pelvis. Let's go ahead and bring the left knee in towards your chest. And we'll upstretch the left leg. And when you take a breath in, we'll point through the ankle joint. When you take a breath out, we'll flex through the ankle joint. And we'll do that a couple more times. And then we'll land in that flex for just a moment. We'll make some circles with that ankle a few times around in one direction And then reverse your direction. And then we'll re-arrive back in that state of what's called dorsiflexion, where the toes are coming toward the front of the shin, and we'll stay for one more breath. And then we'll rebend that knee and return your foot. Great. Find a breath in. And when you exhale, go ahead and roll to one side. Let your top hand find the earth, and we'll use that for support to come all the way up. And so from here, we're going to shift to a little tabletop. Again, just still preparing the body for these bigger movements, focusing a little bit more on the movement of the pelvis and the spine. So you're welcome to have a blanket under your knees. We're going to let the knees go about the distance of your hips. Let your hands settle under your shoulders, about the distance of your shoulders, so your collarbones feel pretty spacious here. Let your fingers spread. And give a little push of the ground away. Let the tops of your feet get nice and heavy. And the next time you exhale, rock your pelvis back so your tail curls downward, and let your low back, your mid back, your upper back round. Let your head heavy. Cat pose. When you inhale, go ahead and tilt in the other direction. So the pelvis rocks forward so the tail lifts, and we'll walk a little back bend through the length of the spine. Again, we'll curl and round. We'll inhale, lift the tail, lift the heart, little cow pose, but keep your strong, sturdy arms. One more time, curl and round. And one more time, lift the tail, lift the heart. Your breath in. And when you exhale, find your way back to the space between. And let's go ahead with your exhale next. Step your right foot forward, and you may have to lift your right hand out of the way. You're welcome to be up on your fingertips or even up onto your blocks. And so here we are getting ready for a lunge. Go ahead and let your right knee land over your right ankle. We're going to use the sturdiness of this ankle and heel to support the knee. And then tuck your left toes under, lift your left knee. And here we are in our lunge. Wiggle that leg back till you feel a nice sense of length, lift of the thigh, lift of the shin. And we're going to stay one more breath in, one more breath out. And go ahead, inhale your left knee down, exhale your right knee underneath you. And take a breath in. Again, a little push of the ground away. And as you exhale, step your left foot forward. Again, we're going to organize the knee above the ankle so your shin is pretty vertical here. We'll tuck the right toes under, lift the right knee, and play around for a moment and see how many of your toes are willing to curl under into this shape. Bring a little extension into the toes. And see, can you evenly reach back through the inner and outer portions of your heel so that one side isn't winning over the other. We're going to take one more breath in, and the only difference here is when you exhale, we're going to step forward to forward fold. We'll just take a breath. Then when you inhale, slip your hands up onto your thighs and lift your chest halfway up. Exhale your breath. And when you inhale, we'll come all the way up to stand. And we'll take a moment in mountain pose, Tadasana. And see if you can let the feet set the distance of your hips. Again, I like to use my hip points and try to imagine a line walking down my thighs, through my knees, bisecting my shins, bisecting my ankles, so my feet are as wide as my hips. We're going to turn the legs so the knees face forward. And try to share the weight pretty evenly between your right and left foot. So you can ease the weight of your pelvis over your ankles. So again, you're using that sturdy part. Let's find the breath again. And when you inhale, let's reach the arms today forward and up. When you exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Let's do that again. Inhale, reach the arms forward and up, and really let your arms reach up as high above your ears as you can. Did anything change in your pelvis, in your rib cage? And exhale to your heart. And we'll do that one more time and see if your ribs, the pelvis, can stay stacked right over your ankles. Breathe in and breathe out. When you inhale, slip your hands to your hips. And when you exhale now, we're going to hinge the pelvis forward like you're spilling a bucket of water forward. We'll keep the spine long for as long as you can. And then notice where you feel the movement of your pelvis stop. And then when you inhale, we'll bring the pelvis all the way upright. Again, as you exhale, create a little hinge here. Stay anchored into your heels. When you inhale, press into those heels, unhinge, come up. We're going to layer in one more thing. When you exhale, hinge forward. When you stop hinging, let your hands release to your chair, your blocks, the earth. Let your head soften. Enjoy a breath. Then when you inhale next, you'll slide your hands to your thighs, stretch your heart forward. Exhale, soften your shoulders. Inhale your pelvis all the way up to stand. And let's put the arms and the hinge together. Inhale, sweep your arms forward and up. Really reach to the sky. Exhale your hands to your heart. Hinge your pelvis forward. When the hinging stops, release your hands to your chair, your blocks, the earth. And let your head heavy. Breathe in. Enjoy your breath out. When you inhale, let your hands slide up into your thighs. Stretch your heart halfway up. Exhale, loosen those shoulders away from your ears. Inhale your way on up. Exhale, mountain pose. Your breath in, scoop the arms forward and up. Exhale your hands to your heart. Hold your hips forward. Uttanasana. Now let's add in the lunge that we did. When you inhale, step your right leg back and feel that nice strong lunge. Take one more breath in, stretch the heart forward. As you exhale, step forward to fold. When you inhale, slide your hands to your thighs, lift halfway up. Exhale, soften your shoulders. With a breath in, rise up, mountain pose, letting your shoulders, your ribs, your pelvis stack over your ankles. Inhale, reach your arms forward and up, right up to the sun, reach up. As you exhale, gather it right into your heart, hinge forward, fold, Uttanasana. When you can't hinge, release your head, soften over. Shift the weight into your right foot, step your left leg long back behind you into a lunge. If you're using your blocks, you can bring your hands and your blocks right under your shoulders. Again, we'll reach through that heel and feel the lift of your back thigh, your back shin. Take one more inhale. And when you exhale, press off those toes, step forward. Inhale your hands to your thighs, lift halfway up. Exhale, soften. Inhale, bring your pelvis upright. Exhale, Tadasana, your head stacking over your shoulders, your ribs, your pelvis, over your ankle. With an inhale, scoop up, reach for the sun. Exhale, gather it into your heart, hinge forward. We're going to add on one more thing. When you inhale, step your right leg back. Again, we're going to try to keep that knee right over the ankle so your shin is pretty vertical. And then see as you root into your left heel and reach through your right heel, how sturdy do you feel? Is it sturdy enough that you can lighten your hands on your block, off your block? Do you want to bring them to your knee? Do you want to bring them to your pelvis? Do you want to reach them up to the sky? Wherever you are, we're going to take one more breath. And then we'll exhale the hands to the blocks and step forward. With a breath in, slide your hands up to your thighs, lift halfway up. Exhale, soften your shoulders. Inhale your way up to stand. With a breath in, scoop your arms forward and up. Exhale your hands to your heart and bow in on yourself. Bow to your light. With a breath in, shift that weight into your right heel, step your left leg back. Again, we're going to keep that right knee over your ankle. Reach strongly through your back leg and decide. Do you want to just lighten up to your fingertips or your hands just floating over your blocks? Do you want to bring your hand to your knee or your hips or reach them up to the sky? Let's take one more inhale. And then we'll exhale the hands to your blocks. Press off the back toes, step forward. Inhale your hands to your thighs, lift halfway up. Exhale your breath. Breathe your way all the way up to stand, mountain pose. All right, so let's gather your chair. And you can either use your chair seat, or if you are taller or you felt like hinging forward was challenging, then you can use the back of your chair. So we're going to start in mountain. Find a breath in. When you exhale, we're going to hinge the hips forward and take your hands to either the sides of your chair or the back of your chair. And we're going to walk the feet back just a few steps, finding a little chair dog. So here's that hinge. Can you keep your feet the distance of your hips? Can you keep your hips above your ankles? And can you try to feel that hinge from your hips, less your low back? If it feels like all you're doing is rounding here, then I would go up maybe a little higher and try it there. So you take some of the forward fold out. Wherever you are, we're going to take one more breath. Now from here, do have your hands on your chair seat and shift your weight forward into your toes and the balls of your feet. Walk your hands forward as you come into a little chair plank and push your chair downward. Take a breath in, strong legs. Exhale, hinge back. Chair dog. Let's do that one more time. As you inhale, shift forward into chair plank. I'd love you to bring the shoulders right over your wrists. Push down so you're nice and broad through your shoulder blades. And then rehinge, chair dog. And then from here, friends, walk yourself forward to forward fold. When you inhale, press down into your chair, lift your chest halfway up. Exhale your hands to your hips. Breathe your pelvis all the way upright. Now let's see if we can put all of that together. So we've got our forward fold, Uttanasana. We've got our lunge. We've got chair dog, chair plank. All right, we're going to see if we can put them all together. When you're ready, inhale, scoop your arms forward up. Reach, reach, reach up through your fingertips. Exhale, gather your hands at your heart. Fold forward. Maybe you find your chair. With a breath in, send your right leg back into a lunge. And so here's now where we get that nice little fancy footwork. Go ahead, step your right foot a little bit forward, step your left foot back to chair dog. Draw your thighs back, 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 back. Now when you inhale, roll forward onto the balls of your feet and your toes. Walk your hands forward to you're in chair plank. And to bring a little bit more awareness into the pelvis and the abdominals, lightly bring a cat pose, a slight tuck of your tail, like 2%. And then untuck, rehinge to chair dog. As you inhale, peek your gaze forward. As you exhale, step your right foot forward, shimmy your left leg back. Find your lunge, your right knee right above your ankle, and see how light your hands would be willing to come here. And take them either to your fingertips, your knee, your hips, or to the sky. One breath in. And then as you exhale, step forward, fold over, Uttanasana. When you inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale your hands to your hips. Inhale, root into your heels. Come all the way up to stand. Your next breath in, scoop the arms forward and up. As you exhale, draw your hands to your heart, hinge forward, bow into yourself. Your breath in, step the left leg back. Nice long lunge. Then let your left foot step a little forward, bring your right foot next door, hips width, chair dog. When you inhale, shift forward into the balls of the feet and the toes. Keep pushing down into your chair seat, plank, add that little tail tuck. When you're ready to exhale, hinge back. Your hands will probably walk back with you, chair dog. When you inhale, peek your eyes forward. Step your left foot forward, your right leg back. You're in a lunge, your knee right over your ankle. Strong back leg. See how light your hands would be willing to come. Your fingertips or anywhere along the path. Take one more breath in. Then when you exhale, we'll lower the hands and step forward. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale your hands to your hips and breathe yourself all the way upright. Have a moment to pause, mountain pose, and feel your breath come in and feel your breath go out. So that's our little sun salutation, Surya Namaskar exploration. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please feel free to pop a note in the comment section, or you can always find me at thisisyourbliss.com and send me an email there. If you like this, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube page already, please remember to do so. Thanks so much, everybody. Be well, and I will see you real soon.